combined with the explanation regarding the complexities of DNA transfer, presented a nuanced picture for the jury to consider. Following a trial filled with emotional testimony and complex forensic evidence, the jury embarked on their deliberations. After
What is up? What is up, YouTube? How y'all doing? Yeah. My bad. Katt Williams and Jaguar Wright scared Jennifer Hudson. She finally revealed why. They scared her, and now she's revealing why. But I know one thing. If this guy's involved, oh man, there's some crooked stuff going on, man. I'm hungry, man. I'm on a diet, but I ate all these carrots. I'm eating carrots. I straight out the bag, y'all. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell. Hey, let's check this bad boy out. Give him a thumbs up real quick. How y'all doing? Y'all doing all right? Oh man, rest in peace to this little boy, this little guy right here, the little fella. Let's check it out.
Julian would have been 11 years old today, but in 2008, he was, along with Jennifer Hudson's mother.
Have you forgiven him?
Yes. We tried to offer love.
When I saw that audition for that movie part, I saw a depth and a range and a soulfulness that really ranks at the top.
I know that if your mouth is really, really big and you try to tell the truth for a living and you like to air people out, hatred is coming your way. I didn't know it was going to be this type of hatred, but you know, I'm concrete in all things because of He who strengthens me. So that doesn't mean I always make the right decisions, but I am going to stand by what I stand for. And I'm only continuing to do it because I was looking for somebody who was doing it instead of me. And I just must have missed them.
The entertainment industry thrives on dazzling performances and the endless glow of public adoration. It's a world of lights, awards, sold-out shows, and magazine covers. But behind that glimmering curtain exists another reality altogether, a shadow world of quiet alliances, whispered secrets, and unspoken threats. For every star whose talent shines on stage, there's another story running parallel, hidden in silence, sealed behind closed doors, and guarded by fear of exposure.
Diddy don't run himself, but you know, that's how they do in LA. That's why I never moved there. I do business there. I will go there and do business. I will go there and get money if I need to. But I can't live there. It's godless. It's a godless place. The city is titled, it's named Los Angeles. That means lost angels.
Jennifer Hudson, celebrated as one of the greatest vocalists of her generation and one of the rare few to achieve EGOT status, is a prime example of that delicate balance. To the public, Jennifer represents resilience, grace, and power. She is the young girl from Chicago's church choirs who rose against the odds, stunned the world on American Idol even without taking the crown, and turned her voice into a weapon of survival and success. She's the face of triumph, a woman who not only conquered music but also film, theater, and television. She sung for presidents, won the highest honors in entertainment, and carved her name into history. Yet now, as new scandals rock Hollywood's foundations, Jennifer's carefully guarded life is being dragged into conversations she never asked for. The trigger? Katt Williams and Jaguar Wright, two industry veterans who long ago abandoned Hollywood's smile and nod politeness.
Wonderful.
How are you doing?
How are you?
I'm great. I mean, you and Common make the cutest couple ever.
Thank you.
What do you most like about the guy? So, you know, we see you in Common, you know, on vacation. Could we see maybe a possible collab? Music, your voice, his voice together. I mean, it could make magic.
I like how you slipped so some vacation. Really? Okay, know about that part. But I don't know, it'd be dope to see two Chicagoans together, but I don't know about that.
How come? I mean, it could be awesome.
It could be. You're right about that.
And you can't confirm if we in a relationship or not because the rumors are talking maybe.
Rumors say a lot of things. But he's a beautiful man, I will give you that.
All right, well,
That's
thank you.
for certain. I'm a host, and so I have to ask you this question, because everybody always want to know this. Are you dating anyone?
There come the acting. Man, answer the damn question. Yes or no? I'm actually dating somebody, but I don't want you to know.
And I'm in a relationship that is one of the most beautiful people I ever met in life. And she's smart. She loves God. She has something real down to earth about her. She's talented. But I set my standard kind of high because she had to have an EGOT. She had to win an Oscar on her first movie. I set my standard high. She had to get her own talk show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so what about you though? How is your love life?
I'm dating as well, and I am very happy. Are you happy in your relationship?
Yes, this relationship is a happy place for me. It's like
I love that you use the word happy place.
No, but seriously, it's like for me, it's one of the things where I found where I can seeing her happy actually makes me really happy. So I'm very grateful. I thank God each and every day, and I'm just
talking about
letting God guide
themselves.
this relationship.
God is in it, right?
God is in it.
That's right. Listen. Okay, this is the happy place. And we
Speak on
is
it.
she the
Speak
one
on
you
it.
say?
Speak on it.
I heard that.
Speak on it. Speak on it.
But here at the happy place, we like to respect people's privacy, so I'm not gonna ask you too many more questions about that.
Yeah.
But everybody wanna know, so I had to, Ms. Hudson had to get into that thing.
We keep it private, but I want to acknowledge how wonderful she is, how great she is, so that's good.
Yes. I feel that same way about my partner.
Okay.
So, you guys.
And chose instead to burn bridges by speaking their...
That was weak. It would have been better if they would have just revealed exactly what they was talking about, that they dating each other. That was weak as I don't know what, man. But it was a good try, I guess. Here we go.
Their truths out loud. They have been relentless in their critiques of the industry's biggest names. They've exposed the power players, the secret deals, the dark underbelly that fans never get to see. And as their attacks intensify, right alongside the shocking news of Diddy's reported quiet release from federal oversight, Jennifer Hudson's name has started to swirl in the mix of whispers. The question is why? Why would someone like Jennifer, whose career appears squeaky clean, suddenly become part of these whispered conversations? What possible connections could she have that make her a potential target for exposure? And why would she, of all people, feel uneasy about what voices like Katt Williams and Jaguar Wright might reveal? The answers may lie not in her shining achievements, but in the shadows of the past and in the industry's ruthless demand for loyalty. Jennifer's story is one of extremes. On one hand, her rise is nothing short of breathtaking. She was the breakout star of American Idol in 2004. Despite not winning the competition, her raw power and charisma made her unforgettable.
Come on, man. Y'all can't see through this stuff. I bet you any amount of money, if y'all let Uncle Mike pick through all this crap, I bet y'all can do a better job than the court systems. There's so many innocent people in jail. That's just my opinion, baby. That's all. My bad.
Gordon, while confirming the lack of Balfour's DNA, explained that this didn't necessarily...
They rocking Uncle Mike, baby. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. See, when people use like my clips and my footage or whatever, that let me know I'm doing something right, even though I'm in the Philippines. Man, that ain't going. My bad. Here we go.
Innocent people in jail. That's just my opinion, baby. That's all. My bad.
Gordon, while confirming the lack of Balfour's DNA, explained that this didn't necessarily exonerate him. She clarified that individuals shed skin cells at different rates, and the use of gloves could prevent DNA transfer altogether. This testimony aimed to neutralize the defense's argument regarding the lack of DNA evidence, suggesting that its absence wasn't conclusive proof of Balfour's innocence. The presence of gunshot residue in Balfour's vehicle, combined with the explanation regarding the complexities of DNA transfer, presented a nuanced picture for the jury to consider. Following a trial filled with emotional testimony and complex forensic evidence, the jury embarked on their deliberations. After 18 hours of careful consideration, they reached a verdict: guilty. William Balfour was found guilty on 3 counts of first-degree for the deaths of Darnell Donnerson, Jason Hudson, and Julian King, as well as several other related charges. The verdict brought a sense of closure, albeit a bittersweet one, to the long and agonizing ordeal for the Hudson family. Post-verdict interviews with jurors shed light on their deliberative process. They revealed a methodical approach, first assessing the credibility of each witness before constructing a detailed timeline of the crime. This timeline was then compared against the alibi presented by Balfour's defense team, revealing inconsistencies and ultimately undermining his claims of innocence among the jurors. However, as juror Tracy Austin explained to reporters, some of us tried our best to make him innocent, but the facts just weren't there. This statement underscored the weight of the evidence presented and the jury's commitment to reaching a verdict based on the facts, despite the emotional gravity of the case. Prior to receiving his sentence, William Balfour was given the opportunity to address the court. In a brief statement, he offered condolences to the grieving Hudson family while continuing to assert his innocence. "My deepest prayers go out to Julian King," Balfour stated, adding, "I loved him. I still love him. I'm innocent, Your Honor." This final plea of innocence, despite the jury's verdict, underscored his unwavering denial of responsibility for the horrific crime. However, under Illinois law, the multiple convictions carried a mandatory sentence of life in prison without the possibility of parole. The state's legal framework, which prohibits capital punishment under any circumstances, left no room for judicial discretion in determining the length of Balfour's sentence. Judge Charles Burns, in delivering the sentence, expressed his profound condemnation of Balfour's actions. "You have the heart of an Arctic night," Burns stated, adding, "Your soul is as barren as dark space." These powerful words reflected the judge's assessment of the gravity of the crimes and the profound impact they had on the Hudson family and the community. With that, William Balfour was sentenced to life in prison without parole, bringing a final legal chapter to the tragic saga of the Hudson family. The emotional weight of the trial was palpable, particularly for Jennifer Hudson, who attended every single day of the 11-day proceedings. As the jury foreman read the guilty verdict, Hudson sobbed openly, finding solace in the embrace of her fiancé. The verdict marked the culmination of a long and arduous journey for the Hudson family, a journey marked by unimaginable grief and the relentless pursuit of justice. Following the verdict, Jennifer and her sister Julia released a joint statement expressing their gratitude for the outpouring of support they had received. "We have felt the love and support from people all over the world, and we're very grateful," the statement read. In a remarkable display of grace and compassion, the sisters also extended their prayers to the Balfour family, acknowledging their shared loss. "We want to extend a prayer from the Hudson family to the Balfour family," they stated. "We have all suffered a terrible loss in this tragedy." Furthermore, they expressed their hope for Balfour's eventual redemption, saying they were praying that the Lord will forgive Mr. Balfour of these heinous acts and bring his heart into repentance someday. Years after his conviction, William Balfour broke his silence in a chilling interview with Chuck Gowdy of Bless TV in February 2016. This first public interview since his imprisonment provided a disturbing glimpse into Balfour's unyielding denial of responsibility. He claimed his conviction was the result of a vast conspiracy, implicating the police, witnesses, and even the lawyers involved in the case. He vehemently maintained his innocence, insisting he had no involvement whatsoever in the most unsettling part of the interview came when Goody questioned Balfour about the 7-year-old Julian King.
Hollywood quickly took notice, and within 2 years, she was cast in Dreamgirls.
Man, I couldn't even. I was so excited. I said, let me stop being excited to see myself on the screen. They took a long clip of that right there. So anyway, 3 people was offed. 3 people was offed. You had all this gunpowder residue in your car and all this type of stuff. Now, you may not have pulled the trigger, but you know what the hell went down. You was part of that joint. I don't care what happened. See, I don't have no, well, since he didn't pull the trigger, but he was with them that did, all of them get life. That's what the problem is. You always trying to waste. Wrong is wrong, right is right. I didn't even follow the case. I should have followed that case, man. Here we go.
Part of the interview came when Goody questioned Balfour about the 7-year-old Julian King.
Hollywood quickly took notice, and within 2 years, she was cast in Dreamgirls. That role won her an Academy Award, catapulting her into the highest echelons of the film industry almost overnight. From there, the accolades poured in. Grammys for her music, a Tony for her work in theater, and eventually an Emmy. She became an EGOT, one of the most exclusive clubs in the entertainment world. For the public, Jennifer Hudson symbolized excellence. She was the blueprint of what talent, hard work, and faith could accomplish. But behind the applause, tragedy and hardship stalked her journey. Jennifer endured unimaginable personal loss when 3 of her closest family members, her mother, her brother, and her young nephew, were brutally murdered. The case that followed was one of the most harrowing and high-profile trials of the last 2 decades. Jennifer attended every day, her presence a quiet symbol of strength in the face of grief so devastating it nearly destroyed her.
Shay, yeah. I was trying to do something there that hadn't been done. I thought that I had figured out the algorithm mathematically, and I thought that I could show that. And when I wrote it out to kill the careers of the people I was talking about, right? But it was so vicious that I erased all of the knockout blows and just left the jabs so that the comic I'm talking about knows that I know your real story. I'm gonna tell this, but you know what else I know. So, yeah, I was...
Do you want to tell any of those stories now?
No.
The guilty verdict against William Balfour brought some measure of closure, but the pain never truly left. For Jennifer, the less...
See, and that's what our problem is, man. When we have dirt on somebody, we try to go for the kill, the one-punch knockout. You need to analyze some of this information and analyze and say, you know what? And how can I use this to better myself? Because this person knows. They know. Come on, Mr. Steve. You know good and well you ain't as funny as this guy, Katt Williams. I think for some reason, Katt Williams hired funnier writers. They come up with funnier plots. His delivery is 10 times better than yours. You better host a Family Feud and stay there and not staying on the radio. Lord have mercy. Anybody can get a program.
And was carved deep. Survival in both life and in Hollywood
like
meant
Steve,
building
man.
walls of caution.
I really don't.
Those who have worked with her
I know he
often
hiding
describe
something.
Jennifer as cautious, calculated, and intent.
I know he hiding something, man. My bad, y'all. Wait a minute. I don't like the way Steve Harvey uses the race car so much. You that high, you that big, and you on radio talking about white folks. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Why are you dividing? Everybody want to make that distinct dividing line over white and I'm colorblind, man. So I can't hear you when you start talking about, well, white folks do this. I'm gone. I'm gone. I can get in my car. I can go to my house where I don't hear that mess.
Story. I'm gonna tell this, but you know what else I know. So, yeah, I was...
Do you want to tell any of those stories now?
The guilty verdict against William Balfour brought some measure of closure, but the pain never truly left. For Jennifer, the lesson was carved deep. Survival in both life and in Hollywood meant building walls of caution. Those who have worked with her often describe Jennifer as cautious, calculated, and intensely private. It isn't arrogance, it's survival. She understands the industry better than most. She knows that one wrong association can topple everything, that one whispered rumor can unravel a career built over decades, and so she moves carefully, strategically, always aware of what she says, who she's seen with, and how her name is attached. Which brings us back to why her name is being whispered in the present. Katt Williams and Jaguar Wright are tearing down the protective barriers of Hollywood, and in the process, they're forcing names like Jennifer's into the public discourse.
Well, this is Jaguar Wright. If you're not familiar with Jaguar, Jaguar is a legendary soul singer who was once a part of The Roots, sung backup for Jay-Z. Not to mention, she even had a very popular commercial with
Jaguar, you legendary, girl. Hot damn. I ain't even mad at you. You legendary on YouTube.
Coca-Cola. Jaguar has always been very open about the trauma that she faced during her career, particularly involving celebrities and encounters.
That night, we went back to his place to watch TV, and I got tired and I went to sleep with all my clothes on. There was no invitation there was no nothing. All I know is the next morning I see the sunlight coming through the window and I feel something poking in my mouth.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Exactly.
We're not in a relationship.
Yeah.
Do I find you attractive? Absolutely.
Yeah, but there was no under.
Do I got a hip hop crush on you?
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Whoa, I used to love her.
Yeah.
For a female hip hop head who was an MC and a writer?
Yeah.
Of course I'm fan crushing underneath. There's no way, especially at that age in my early 20s. And in that morning, you know, just the whole exchange, me, smack the crap out of his nuts. He jumps back. I get my socks, make sure my socks is on right, get my shoes, and I leave. I wasn't even undressed. That was exactly how that whole thing went.
So for those of you who may be wondering who she's talking about, what I will say is that Jaguar and a few other celebrity females have this person in common. It's your boy Brian. Shout out to me.
When they attack the industry's hidden power players, when they talk about the secret networks, the quiet alliances that dictate who rises and who falls, they're not just speaking about nameless faces. They're dragging in people who may not even want to be involved, but are nonetheless connected by the simple fact of survival in the system. Jennifer Hudson is not being accused of wrongdoing, but her silence, her careful avoidance of scandal, becomes louder in times like these. When the industry's foundation shakes, silence can be mistaken for complicity. When the most powerful are being exposed, even those who've played no part become suspects simply because they've existed in proximity. That's the cruel reality of Hollywood's current storm. And then there's the Diddy factor. His quiet release from federal oversight stunned the public and sent a ripple of unease through the industry. For decades, Diddy represented the pinnacle of influence and power. But as allegations, investigations, and exposés multiply, those once aligned with him or even rumored to be are caught in the aftershocks. Jennifer's world may seem light years away from Diddy's, but in Hollywood, degrees of separation collapse quickly. People begin asking questions. Who worked with whom? Who was in the room? Who stayed silent when they should have spoken?
That's what I care about. I care about the victims.
No, I understand. How bad was it, you think? What was going on?
I'm going to tell you right now that me, as a woman who has been in the industry for over 30 years, I've been performing live since I was 13. My first handler was McKinley Horton. I come to find out 25 years later that a scar that was on his face with a very elaborate story he gave me was put there by a woman who he... To live through these things and hear your elders in the business, people like Patti LaBelle say, just avoid him, honey. And being taught to be a just avoid him, honey. It's not good enough. Not when you live through these things, you're still suffering the PTSD created by all of this, and you're talking to a victim that's 20 years younger than you, and she's telling you the exact same thing that happened to you. You want to know why there's no vindication for me? Because for 4 years, I've been screaming, not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters. And the victim-making machine kept going on.
And in that climate, even the purest reputation can feel fragile. Jennifer's challenge is the same challenge every star faces in this moment. How to maintain her carefully constructed boundary between public persona and private reality. She has always chosen privacy. She has always kept her circle small and her personal life tightly controlled. But the louder voices like Katt and Jaguar get, the harder it becomes to stay untouched. Their critiques are not just about individuals, they're about the entire system. And when the system itself is under attack, no one is fully safe. Her resilience has been her armor, but resilience comes at a cost. Carrying the trauma of her family's loss, navigating the cutthroat politics of Hollywood, and building a career across multiple industries has forced Jennifer to become almost untouchable in how she manages her image. Yet even the untouchable can feel the walls closing in when the culture shifts. That's where Jennifer stands now, in a moment when Hollywood's secrets are being cracked open, when old power structures are collapsing and new voices are refusing to be silenced. Her silence is starting to feel dangerous, because in this climate, silence isn't just absence, it's a statement. People will twist it, interpret it, and weaponize it. And Jennifer, for all her brilliance and strength, knows that. The irony is that Jennifer Hudson's entire story should be untouchable. She survived tragedy, built an unblemished career, and achieved a level of recognition few can dream of. Yet the very system that allowed her to reach those heights is now being dismantled in real time. And as it falls apart, everyone who benefited from it, even tangentially, is being scrutinized. That's the tension surrounding her now. Not that she has done wrong, but that she has succeeded in a world where wrong has been rampant. And as Katt Williams and Jaguar Wright continue to point fingers to expose the ugly truths and to demand accountability, even Jennifer Hudson, the voice of resilience, finds herself caught in the storm. Because in this moment, in this climate, even silence can become a dangerous thing. Katt Williams has always been more than a comedian. He is a cultural disruptor. His career has never been about simply telling jokes on a stage. It's been about exposing the cracks in the system while everyone else pretended the surface was flawless. For years, his stand-up routines, interviews, and unscripted moments have carried more than humor. Hidden beneath the laughter were daggers, jabs at shadowy practices, subtle call-outs of power players, and bold hints at the secret alliances that keep Hollywood's machinery running. Unlike most comedians who build their legacy on laughs, Katt has built his on both laughter and fear. Because when Katt talks, Hollywood listens, nervously. The recent uproar surrounding Diddy's reported release from federal oversight reignited that fire in Katt. To his audience, he made it clear, this wasn't the end of the story, it was the calm before the storm. His words weren't just entertainment, they were a warning. He wanted people to understand that this wasn't about a man beating charges. This was about a trade, a negotiation happening in the shadows with lives and reputations as bargaining chips.
Katt Williams recently went on to a podcast with Carmelo Anthony, and he speaks on the viral podcast that he did with Shannon Sharpe at Club Shay Shay. But what I want to show you guys is how he gave credit to God for him having this ability to call people out. He credits God as the person that gives him the authority to call out people in the industry and to make things right. And then he also speaks about how God gave him a lot of money, and now he has a contract with God to give this money out to be a blessing onto other Christians. Okay, now I'm not saying that Katt Williams is a devout Christian. I'm going to get into that a little bit in this video. We're going to talk about his faith and things of that nature. But first, I want to show y'all exactly what he was talking about on this podcast. Okay, so before we hop into this video, do me a quick favor. Hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm so that this video can reach more people like yourself. I truly appreciate you guys. Let's go ahead and hop in.
All right, well, I'm saying in my personal business, you can either do the dirt or you can know the dirt. I'm one of the chosen high-ranked know the dirt individuals.
Know the dirt.
Right?
Okay.
And so dirt responds as they should when the vacuum walks in.
Damn.
I came to deliver.
Damn it, Katt Williams. Should I write that one down? Dirt knows what? Oh my God, y'all know Uncle Mike. One more time.
Right?
Dirt knows what?
Dirt responds as they should when the vacuum walks in.
Dirt responds as it should. Dirt responds as they should when the vacuum walks in.
I came to deliver an interview, having seen some of my competitors and peers get on that same court and do a performance that involved my name. And so once 6 or 7 of you have made this same violation, it's my job as the king to show up and chastise thee. This is my job. I'm supposed to come in and restore order because that's my position. The fact that it's ignored by the clowns because they're all in the same frat, comedically, like, that's all well and good. I don't care nothing about none of that. But the job still needs to be done.
It still needs to be done.
And if God lets me know it's a good time for that, that's how I'm going to write it up and deliver it. So I didn't know anything Shannon was going to say. I didn't know what questions he was going to ask. Like there was no conversation. Like,
right.
Yeah.
What was the impetus behind that? Like, what made you say, like you said, like, you basically answered the question already, but what made you say, all right, man, enough is enough? I've heard y'all say this and that and mention my name, or you know what I mean, and it's all false. I gotta come up here and set the record straight. Did you go up there with that intention, or was that something that just happened naturally through the conversation?
If there is a God side and the other side, if there are moral things and things that are immoral, if there is this side or that side, it can't be left up to thought process. I'm an enforcer on this side. I'm not only on God's side, I'm active, right? And so comedically, that means that, you know how sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. We traffic in words. I can get up with these words and end your legacy.
We've seen it.
I don't care how long. Right, because if it's built on sand, it just is.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna feel any type of way by exposing your hand. That's how this game works. I don't mean to break your ankles, but if I cross you over, I just did, didn't I?
Let me tell you something, man. Like, the fallout from that interview, it almost felt like prophecy for a lot of people. Like, it was my first time hearing those things.
Yeah.
And I didn't do no Googles or wasn't really in social media or keeping up on any of that stuff. I look at it and be like, it felt like prophecy. Like, as the year went on, things that you said in that interview, headline after headline.
You mean like Diddy going to jail or TD Jakes? Which one?
I mean, it was all there. It was all.
Okay, so he speaks on Diddy going to jail and TD Jakes stepping down as his role as the pastor this year, around the same time that this Diddy situation came out. Now, I remember back when the whole thing first came out, right? We all did a lot of speculation, including myself, made videos that, you know, maybe weren't 100% true, if I can be honest.
Katt positioned himself not as a comedian on the outside looking in, but as someone standing in the middle of the storm, daring to speak where others stayed silent. For Katt, unpredictability is his greatest weapon. He has always been fearless, willing to burn bridges, call out peers, and dismantle illusions. That's why Hollywood cannot entirely dismiss him. He isn't like other entertainers who need brand deals or cozy relationships with executives to keep their careers alive. Katt's power is in his truth-telling, his fearlessness, and the fact that time and again, things he's hinted at end up proving true. And then there's Jaguar Wright, the other half of this chaotic equation, where Katt is biting and calculated, Jaguar is unfiltered and relentless. Once a respected soul singer who performed with The Roots, sang backup for Jay-Z, and even landed major commercial deals, Jaguar eventually abandoned the traditional path of fame. Instead, she chose to expose what she calls the dark underbelly of the entertainment industry. Her commentaries on Diddy, Jay-Z, and other power players haven't just been shocking, they've been chilling. She has described the system as a chessboard where people are used, traded, and silenced. To Jaguar, Diddy's freedom isn't vindication, it's a move in a larger game, a move that reveals just how deeply the machine protects its own until it doesn't. What makes Jaguar uniquely dangerous to Hollywood is that she has no leash. She isn't beholden to labels, sponsors, or mainstream platforms. She has nothing left to lose. She speaks from lived experience, often recounting her own traumatic encounters with celebrities and handlers. Many have dismissed her, but over time, pieces of her stories have lined up with revelations that emerged elsewhere. In a world where credibility is currency, Jaguar's comes not from status, but from survival. This dynamic, Katt as the cultural disruptor, Jaguar as the whistleblower, creates an atmosphere of dread in Hollywood. Because if either one of them decides to attach your name to their narrative, your image can crumble overnight. That's the nightmare scenario facing Jennifer Hudson. Jennifer's career has been built on discipline, talent, and calculated neutrality. She has worked her way into the highest ranks of the industry, not only as a performer, but as a producer, talk show host, and cultural figure. She has aligned with major networks, powerful executives, and corporate sponsors. She has kept her image spotless, embodying resilience and grace in the public eye. But that very success makes her vulnerable. In a climate where association alone can trigger scandal, Jennifer's proximity to the industry's elite, some of whom are now under fire, could easily be weaponized. If Katt Williams decides to even hint at her name, the damage begins immediately. Jennifer doesn't have the luxury of playing defense after the fact. She can't joke her way out of it, nor can she rely on silence to shield her. Once the suggestion is out there, perception begins to harden, and in Hollywood, perception often outweighs reality. That's where Jaguar Wright's presence makes things even more dangerous. Jaguar has positioned herself as the voice of victims. As someone tearing back the curtain others are too afraid to touch. Her message is clear. The system runs on silence, and that silence enables abuse. When she speaks about Diddy, about Jay-Z, about handlers and trauma, her voice resonates with those who have seen and suffered the same things. And when she warns that Jennifer Hudson's world, glittering as it may be, is not as separate from the industry's darker currents as it appears, people listen. For Jennifer, the stakes could not be higher. Her story has always been sold as one of triumph, an EGOT winner, a woman who turned tragedy into inspiration, a performer who reached the pinnacle of every corner of entertainment. But that shining narrative also makes her a symbol. And symbols are powerful leverage. If Jennifer were ever linked, however vaguely, to Hollywood's messiest controversies, it wouldn't just be a personal scandal. It would be a crack in the image of an industry that needs her to represent purity, perseverance, and legitimacy.
You put your heart and soul into everything. So we gonna get that tea. We gonna get that Tony.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of EGOTs from the South Side, Jennifer Hudson, your girlfriend, how special is that relationship to you?
Oh man, that relationship is one of the greatest blessings and most important things in my life, in my whole journey in life. The friendship, the partnership, the life partnership, just the connection. Man, it's one of those things where you don't know truly like what true partnership and relationship is until you get there. And it took me some time maybe to grow and evolve as a person. And it's like those things you pray for and you don't get them until you're ready. And I think, whatever growing I had to do, it was the divine time in alignment when Jennifer and I started like being interested in each other, because we've been around each other before. We've worked together before or something. But this was the time where we just felt and got to see each other in that way. And yeah, man, I mean, it's inspiring to have somebody who's as talented and just soulful and like gifted and can do all these different things, and is one of the greatest vocalists of all time, and just this pure artist, man. Like, she's a special artist. But then to have someone who, most importantly, when it comes to relationship, is just like, it's like equal yoke. Y'all can be in a room together, and it's just like together, and it's joy, and it's like, or I could be going through something, and it's like I have that encouragement and support, and vice versa. Like, that's what I'm learning more about partnership and love. And like I said, when you get there, you recognize what it is. And I hold up high, and God willing, I keep praying for that we just continue to be at our best with each other.
Well, all of us here in Chicago were rooting for you all when we saw that you all confirmed things on her show. It was so beautiful because, with the exception of Michelle and Barack, we don't have a lot of big figures who are both from Chicago, or both primarily raised in Chicago. And so it's a beautiful thing to see. So Chicagoans, we're rooting for you all. We're rooting for you all.
I gotta say this, man, it's really dope to actually like have be in a relationship with somebody who's from Chicago. Because, I travel all over the world, and, I've been in relationships and met with, been good relationships. I'm not taking away from anything, anybody I've, dated before. But, this Chicago woman is something there like that we like, oh man, it's just, we can relate to certain things that just, we both been through. Well, it could be the smallest of things, like the roll call on GCI that used to happen, or
the birthday call.
Birthday call. That birthday call on GCI, or just Evergreen Plaza. But more than anything, is relating on just values and respect and consideration, and being a good human being, and having a reverence and a pursuing of God.
The whispers about Diddy's quiet release intensify this danger. To many observers, his freedom despite ongoing investigations and sealed cases symbolizes the system's corruption. If the system can protect him, who else has it protected? Who else has stayed silent while benefiting from its rewards? The net doesn't need to pull Jennifer in directly. Even her silence could be framed as complicity. In this era of exposés, not speaking is itself a kind of statement. Hollywood has always run on unspoken rules: loyalty, discretion, and looking the other way. Careers rise and fall not just on talent, but on who you align with and what you choose not to say. Jennifer has mastered the art of silence, using it as a survival strategy. But the problem now is that silence no longer guarantees safety. With Katt and Jaguar dismantling the culture of secrecy, silence can be reinterpreted as guilt. Jennifer's relationship with Chicago, with her faith and with her cultural image, has always grounded her. To her fans, she is more than a star. She's an inspiration. But in the current climate, even that can be weaponized. When Katt claims divine authority to expose people, when Jaguar insists she's fighting not just for herself, but for a generation of victims, they create a narrative where anyone can be dragged in, guilty or not. And Jennifer is not just anyone, she is one of the few who embody the American dream of entertainment success. Her fall, even imagined, would ripple through the entire system. That's why the fear of exposure is so powerful. It's not just about what she has or hasn't done. It's about the possibility of being used as leverage in a larger game of power that only a handful truly understand. So what happens now? Katt Williams shows no sign of slowing down. Every time he speaks, he rattles cages, and each new revelation feels like prophecy fulfilled when headlines follow. Jaguar Wright continues to gather attention with her raw, unfiltered testimonies. She doesn't care about consequences. She cares about truth as she sees it. Together, they represent a storm Hollywood has no umbrella for. And Jennifer Hudson, she stands at a crossroads. She can continue her silence, hoping her spotless record shields her from fallout. Or she can find herself forced into conversations she never wanted to be part of. Whether she remains untouched or ends up caught in the storm depends not just on her own choices, but on the unpredictable moves of voices she cannot control. The truth is, Hollywood is in transformation. The walls that once protected secrets are crumbling. The unspoken rules no longer hold. Power players are being exposed, and reputations once thought untouchable are being questioned. For Jennifer Hudson, the challenge isn't just staying relevant, it's staying unscathed. Because in this new era, truth can be weaponized as easily as lies. And in Hollywood's fragile ecosystem, even someone as celebrated and resilient as Jennifer Hudson can find herself one whisper away from scandal. The question is simple. Is she merely a bystander in this unfolding drama, or does her silence suggest that there's more to this story than we realize? Let us know in the comments what you think, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more content from us.
Man, hey y'all. Yeah, Katt Williams be showing some true predictions, cause he in it, he see it. Sitting back seeing and everything, but Jennifer, I'm a little I don't know. I think she a little salty to her real fans and stuff, and that she ain't real, I don't think, man. It's something about this whole thing, especially with the little thing they did on the show with her and her boyfriend. At the end, you should have said, we're dating, we're kissing each other or whatever, and then the crowd would have went off and stuff. That would have been real than keeping the act going on. That's just my opinion. I don't know, man. Look here, I'm hungry. I'm going to get something to eat. Y'all take it light, take it slow. Tell them Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.